The Boat Song, T.V. Padma. India has carried on trade with distant countries since ancient times. Sea trade began quite early in southern India because it is surrounded on three sides by water. The Cholas were the first to have a huge empire in the south. Their empire included islands such as Lakshadweep and Maldives and parts of Myanmar, Malaysia and Sumatra. Therefore, sea trade was very important to the Cholas. Read this story about Karikala Valavan, a well-known Chola ruler. It was dawn, Aaditan's favorite time of day. He was sitting in his boat, waiting for his first passenger for the day. Every day, Aaditan rowed people back and forth across the waters of the Kaveri. He loved the small wooden boat he had made with his own hands. He loved his quiet village too, and the flat fields that surrounded it. Sometimes, while waiting for a passenger, Aaditan sang beautiful songs. He sang not of his village, but of the sea. Though he loved his village, his dream was to wander like the waves of the sea. He wanted to taste, touch, listen to, and see places that were far, far away. The mighty vessels of his people, the Cholas, had helped them trade with distant countries. Aaditan dreamed that one day he too would build a huge ship. It would be strong enough to carry horses and elephants. He would fill it with ivory and pearls. He would sail away to distant islands and sing the songs of his own people there. In return, he would bring back stories of these lands. When he grew old, he would build a great mansion in this very village and share the tales of his travels with young children. But would this dream ever come true? Aaditan was, after all, just a poor boatman. "Boatman, boatman!" Aaditan heard a man on the far bank calling out to him. "Coming, sir!" Aaditan shouted. He stood up in the boat and shoved the oars into the waters. Soon the boat moved rapidly towards the other bank. As his boat neared the shore, Aaditan saw his first passenger for the day more clearly. The man looked taller than he really was. His clothes were quite ordinary. But Aaditan could see he was an important man. He looked like someone who was used to commanding others. "You manage that boat of yours better than most people of your age. You row it almost like a grown-up," the man said as Aaditan came closer. "You cross the wide river as though it were just a narrow stream." "Thank you, sir," Aaditan said, very pleased. "It is a small boat, but I made it myself, and I'm quite proud of it. I have only my boat and my hut to call my own." "Is there truly nothing else you may call your own in this world?" the man asked, climbing into the boat. "My songs, sir. I should like to call them my own, if I may." "Of course you may. Your songs, your dreams, your ideas. Anything that is born in your head is yours. Sing me a song then, and let us go slowly across. I want to enjoy the dawn." Aaditan began to sing. He sang about his wish to have a great ship of his own some day. He sang about traveling to lands that lay far beyond the Chola country. The oars dipped into the water, keeping time to Aaditan's song. The man sat back in the boat as though it were a throne, and he listened to Aaditan's song very carefully. They were nearly across when Aaditan stopped singing. "Well, boy, do you suppose your dreams will come true someday?" the man asked. "I'm not sure. I don't know if I'll ever have enough money to own a ship," replied Aaditan. The man nodded seriously. Indeed, not everyone's dreams come true. Yet, hope is a good thing. And who knows, perhaps you may be lucky. Aaditan was still lost in his dreams when the man dropped some heavy coins into his palm. It was a few moments before Aaditan looked down to see how much the man had given him. He was astonished. In his palm lay more money than Aaditan had ever held in all his life. Coins of solid gold. He was surprised. Was his luck beginning to change already? And yet, how could he take all this money? Had the man made a mistake? Perhaps he had not counted the coins properly in the dim light. "Wait, sir, wait!" Aaditan shouted. The man was already some distance away with his long strides. Aaditan ran after him. His feet slipped a little on the smooth, wet clay, but he clutched the coins tightly in his palm. "Sir, sir!" The man turned. "What's the matter, boy?" "You paid me too much money, sir. Perhaps you made a mistake." The man shook his head and held up his hands as if to tell Aaditan that it was not a mistake. It was only then that Aaditan noticed the rings on his fingers. Who was this man? Was it? No, surely not. The man watched Aaditan's astonished gaze with amusement. He took off the ring from one of his fingers. "Keep this ring as a sign that you met me. Visit me soon, so I may reward your honesty more fully. Perhaps I can help you become a builder of great ships. And one day you may journey to lands beyond this great Chola empire," he said. "Where can I find you, sir?" Aaditan whispered, still not sure who the man was. "The palace, of course," the man smiled. And he strode away, leaving Aaditan staring after him. Yes, it was Karikala Valavan, the king himself. In ancient times, kings used to wander in disguise through their kingdoms. They liked to find out for themselves how their people lived. There are many stories about this from around the world.